Hey, this is Mike Brooks from Nuclear Chowder Marketing, and welcome to Prospecting with Twitter for Commercial Movers. In this quick video, I'm going to show you a set it and forget it, dead simple system for finding and engaging prospects on Twitter. Specifically going to go over a commercial mover example, but really this will work in any niche. So the system, and I'm going to give you kind of a summary and then I'm going to go through the steps. It is so simple. You don't even know how to use Twitter to be able to do this little system. You basically, in a nutshell, you're going to find search terms that might lead you to business. Once you find those search terms, you're going to set up alerts so that you get alerted the moment somebody out there in the Twittersphere tweets something with that alert. Then you can jump in the conversation, engage that person. So if somebody says that they need a commercial mover, you're going to get notified that that person tweeted it. You're going to be able to go to that person's Twitter post and you're going to be able to talk to them. So imagine somebody says on Twitter, I need a commercial mover. Does anybody know a commercial mover in my location? You immediately get notified that that person tweeted. You go into their tweet and you just reply to them and say, hey, I'm a commercial mover. I'm in your backyard. Would love to talk to you. Here's my phone number. You have such a great chance of getting business that with no effort, and really you don't even know how to use Twitter again. I'm going to show you how to do it. You'll build followers from doing this. You'll get a lot of engagement, but you could get customers from this. This is a great way to get customers from Twitter. Now there's only 3 steps here. It can be a little confusing. So the video may be a little longer than it needs to be, but it's going to go through exactly the step-by-step system that you need to follow. But the best part is you only do it once. So once you set these alerts up, you really never have to go back to it. So here's step number 1. You're going to make a big list of things that your prospect might say. So again, what might a prospect say if they're looking for a commercial mover? I need a commercial mover is probably one. So here's what my list looked like. And I was just brainstorming some things here. Commercial mover, need a commercial mover. Commercial realtor, need a commercial realtor. Why would I put commercial realtor even though I'm a mover? Well, if somebody talks about needing a commercial realtor and I can refer my realtor to them, well, now I'm getting into the buying process even earlier because I'm going to go ahead and refer my realtor to them and then my realtor is going to end up referring me back in. So number 1, I did a great thing out in the public by referring somebody, by helping people. I'm going to get engagement from that. I'm going to get attention from that. And I potentially may get that client after they get their realtor and get referred back to me. I'm the good guy, so I got a good chance of at least being able to bid on that. So I'm going to make this list of my keywords, the things that I think that people might type in within the buying cycle, either somewhere I can refer in, somewhere I can help, or certainly somewhere that they're prospecting. Now, step number 2 is to go over and do an advanced Twitter search to see what these things look like. Now, I'll give you a little word of advice here. Don't worry too much if you don't see activity on Twitter. What we're really looking for is words that are going to have a lot of noise where we're probably not going to get a lot of prospecting. I don't care if I have an exact phrase of I need a commercial mover and I don't see any Twitter activity, that's not necessarily a bad thing because all that has to happen is once a year somebody says I need a commercial realtor and a commercial mover and it's worth the effort. So, but if I have a phrase that results in all sorts of weird noise and things that are not going to get me business, then I don't want to get alerts every day, every time somebody posts something on that. If I'm going to have to weed through a lot of stuff to get there. Hopefully that makes sense. So here's how you get to the advanced search. Twitter.com/search-advanced. Now, if you forget this URL, just go to Google and type in advanced Twitter search and it'll come right up. Now, step number 3, we're going to set the alerts. And there's a couple of ways to set alerts. You can do Google alerts. You can use Hootsuite, Mention, or what I'm going to show you today is IFTTT, which stands for If This Then That. About 2 years ago, IFTTT created a process that you have to set up, and I'm going to show it to you. It's not too terribly difficult. And once you set that up, you get notification every time that tweet happens. Now, Google Alerts tends to be a little slower. So let's get the pen action here. So Google Alerts is something, if Google finds out about it, they send you a daily email or an instant email or weekly alerts that you get them, but sometimes they're not going to come through. So it's free, but it's not exactly the best option. Now, Hootsuite is a tool that you can integrate with your social media network. It is free on the basic level. There's advanced paid levels, but you can probably use it for free and set up little windows where you can see if somebody hits that, what somebody's tweeting about, but you have to go into it. Now, Mention is a pretty cool tool, but it is paid. So you do have to pay for Mention. Mention.com, it's a monthly membership and it ties into Twitter, so when somebody hits that search string, you're going to get notified. IFTT, it does the same type of thing, but it's free. So free is great. So we're going to go into IFTT. So let me show you the process, and I'm going to go back through the steps again. Okay, so step one again is to create your list. This is going to be the list you're going to test out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start looking up some of these on the advanced search. And when I do, and I find the ones I like, I'm going to make a new list, which is going to be the ones that I'm going to create the alerts for. So let me show you how these work. Here's the deal. If I do any of these words, let's take a look at this. So let's do a search on need a commercial mover, see what this looks like. Any of these words, I'm just going to hit, and you can see there's a bunch of different search strings down here, but I'm just going to search on that for any of these words so you can see what it looks like. Now here it's a very noisy feed. There's a lot of stuff going on, which is because it picks up if it has a match of any words, and you can see the only word it found in this was A, so very non-specific. So we want to never bother with that kind of broad search. The next one up is all of these words. So now it needs to have all of these words. Need a commercial mover. Has to have all of them. And now we start to see some activity, but not as much. Okay, and you can see that there's some of it is from years ago. So there's only a handful of tweets. That's not necessarily a bad thing. What we don't want is we don't want every 5 minutes to get 15 tweets sent to us that we have to read through, because then we're never going to read them. So we want to be specific, but we also want to make sure there's a little bit of action going on. You're going to see, you may see competition that you want to monitor, so you can actually set up for that as well. Nothing wrong with doing that. So I'm going to go back to my search, and then I'm going to do exact phrase. This is really the one I typically go after, is the exact phrase. So need a commercial mover. But I'm going to add it as a question. So I'm looking for people asking, maybe, or I'm guessing that that's what's going to happen, is that they're asking for a commercial mover. So now it's only going to return me tweets where, are there benefits to working with a commercial mover in West Orange, New Jersey? This is probably an advertisement for a company. Need a Wellington mover, again, advertisement. So you're going to see a lot of advertisements, but that's okay. You know, if one time a year something comes up that is a prospect, you'll be alerted to it. So once you do that, create your new list, and then you're going to go over to IFTT over here. Once I have that, and I have a few, and you can skip the advanced search if you want. If you think they're good keywords, you can just set them up, because it's set it and forget it, and then you can remove them if you don't like them. But I would probably do a little bit of searching just to make sure that you're not going to get a ton of bad tweets during the day. So we're going to click here on IFTT for recipes. I'm going to go to My Recipes, and this is showing me all the recipes that I set up. And I've set up tons and tons of recipes. So this one is the most recent one that I set up, and it is simply, if a new tweet from search for commercial realtor, then send me an email at my email address. That's what you want to do. Very, very simple. So we're going to create a recipe. I'll show you how to do it. You're going to go right to step one here, and it's just saying you have to set this and you have to set that. So we're going to click on this, and that creates the trigger channel. And I can select all sorts of, you can scroll through here and see all sorts of cool stuff. There's tons and tons of pre-done recipes for you that have a lot of benefit. So you can go pretty crazy with IFTT. But I'm just going to look for Twitter. And then I'm going to go through and look for new tweet from a search. That's the one I want. You can play around with any of these. Once you get advanced at this, there's a lot you can do. So now I'm on step 3. I'm going to complete the trigger fields. New tweet from search. Now, if you're using this Twitter's advanced search, you might want to click here, open this in a new tab so that you can start to pull in the operators so that you know what to put your string as, because now you have to, so tweets containing all words in any position and tweets containing exact phrases, it tells you that you put it in double quotes. So that's what we want to do. So here's the different things you would have to include depending on what you searched for. So let's go back there, and we're going to set up need commercial realtor, because I don't think I've set that one up yet. So that's it. Make sure you put it in double quotes for the exact match. If you don't want an exact match, you would just put it as a string, but be careful and make sure you check your operators. And then I'm going to create the trigger. Now I need to do the that part. So it's if a new tweet from search for need commercial realtor, then click on this. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to do however we want to be notified. So this is the notification, and you can see you've got a lot of different options here. You can put it in Evernote, you can send a text message to yourself, you put it on Facebook, but what we want to do is email it. What I like to do, and you look through and see what works for you, is send me an email. Now, you're going to have an extra step in here of setting your email up. It's pretty simple. You just connect your email system. Not every email system is going to be easy. So if you're using Gmail, it's easy. If you're using Yahoo, it's easy. But if you're using a company email address, you might need to get your support involved in this or ask them about it. So, but there's other ways you can do this if you don't have the ability to set up an email. So I'm going to just send an email to myself, and I'm going to keep the default. It's going to say this person, and here's what they entered, the text of their tweet. And then I'm going to have a link to their username so that I can actually click on it. Now I'm going to create the action because I'm happy with that. So if this tweet happens, send me an email. And then the recipe title is going to be for need a commercial realtor. I'm going to hit create recipe, and I'm done. So now it's done. The recipe is there. Recipe is created. I never need to touch this again. It's running in the background. It's going to run all day, every day. Anytime there's a tweet, I'm going to get it. Now, if you get too many tweets, then just turn them off. But let me show you what happens so that you can kind of see where the rubber meets the road. I was experimenting with this and doing advanced searches yesterday, and this is what I came up with here. This person, I need a commercial realtor for downtown Toronto area. If anyone knows one, let me know. And this was literally the day before I published, the day before I did this. So I immediately got in with a contact that I know. And I tweeted twice. I just tweeted, because you can only tweet 140 characters, so I put in the basics and then I put in a follow-up here. And it looks like one person liked it. Now remember, in the beginning of this video, I told you didn't even know how to use Twitter, and I meant it. You're going to get these notifications to your email, and you just, or wherever you get the notifications, you click on the link and find the tweet. So if, it should be a recent tweet, unless the person tweets a lot, but you look through, you scan through their tweets, and then on the bottom of the tweet, I've already done this, you just hit reply. And it's going to automatically put their name in it. So it's going to be a reply to this, and it's going to message them, and then I would just say, hey, I know a great mover, and I might put in the link to the person, I might put in my phone number, whatever it is. I'm not going to go after him aggressively, but I'm going to be of assistance to him. He's asking for a realtor. I'm going to suggest here's what you do. So again, this is the tweet. I answered it, jumped in immediately, and I'm able to refer a moving client who can then refer a realtor. And I'm just setting up a relationship. Now, one of the side benefits is within minutes of me tweeting a referral to a commercial mover, 6 other business professionals followed me, most within the real estate niche. So it makes some noise. It gets me followers. It makes me look awesome, because I'm a guy who refers people. So that's an attractive thing, right? People want to be around that, which is why we say that you get by giving. You get more by giving. So that's it. That's the process. It's set it and forget it. And I hope you go and set up some of these for yourself. It's just low-hanging fruit. If you never get a tweet on it, then you don't. But if you get a tweet, you may get a customer from this. So great way to go and prospect on Twitter. And if you have any questions, please let me know.